Hello, hi, and welcome to another video of Life in Corporate. The question I keep receiving is what's the dress code in the UK for different companies, different firms out there? And this question is asked by a lot of people who come to UK from abroad. Do we need to bring a lot of suits out there? What's the office culture? Do we need to wear suits every day with tie, etc.? What's the culture out there? So in this video, I'll talk about each and everything I know from my experience and of course looking at all the people out there and from research. Just to give you context out there, I have been in UK for the last 6 years. I have seen pre-COVID times, full-time office work, and the dress code for that. I have seen COVID times and the change in dress code and post-COVID times with hybrid working and how the dress code has really changed over time. The dress code is company specific and there's no law out there in the UK whereby they can mandate you what to wear and what not to wear. Or there's the Equality Act 2010 which aims to make sure that the dress code is not discriminatory to anybody. Other general guidance that's typically built into companies' dress code policies that should not concern with health and safety issues or maybe it should not be unprofessional as well. Generally talking, most of the companies and firms have a policy called dress for the day. They can have different names in their policies, but the general essence is you need to dress for the day. For example, talking about firms and taking an example of Deloitte where I'm currently working, Deloitte has a clear policy of dressing for the day. What they mean is you need to be ready for the day. Basically, if you've got some client meetings, you need to make sure you look more professional. If you've got in office work, you can be more relaxed and smart casual as well. What that means is your dress code can change every day based on requirements of the job. For example, if you have to travel to client side or maybe you have some important meetings, you may want to look more professional, wear a suit as well. And sometimes if you're just working in office, you don't have any important meetings, you can actually wear jeans and t-shirt as well. Of course, you can't wear shorts or any funny t-shirts. Based on the day, you either need to be in suit or maybe properly dressed or smart casual as well. All the other possibilities: pants, shirts, jeans, t-shirts, chinos, sweatshirts, all these things work actually. There's nothing specific to find. As I said, you need to be ready for the day, and literally most of the time I go in the office, I go in jeans or chinos, with a shirt or the t-shirt. That's my general dress code. And talking about suits, a lot of people actually don't wear suits anymore unless there's the actual need for the suit. There's an important meeting out there. However, mostly people just come in pant, shirt, or just jeans. Sort of principles apply for women as well, that you need to be professionally ready for the day. The sort of dressing I see in office is maybe dresses, long skirts, pants, jeans, t-shirts, tops. All these things work actually, and a lot of people actually wear those. And also very important thing to highlight, the workplace policy like dress for the day actually just gives you suggestions. This is acceptable, this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. So it doesn't really define what's right and what's wrong. It just gives you perspective of this is acceptable and this is not acceptable, and you should avoid that. Not about different sort of industry like investment banks, hedge funds, or anything that's linked to money making. A lot of people actually wear suits from top level to bottom level. A lot of people actually wear suits, and that's quite common in those industries. So it can vary. So if you're going to work in one of those industries, you need to make sure you have suits. Lastly, as I said, I have been working in Deloitte for the last 6 years. So things I typically wear when going to office is jeans, as I mentioned, t-shirts and sweatshirts. T-shirts, especially when it's summers, sweatshirt when it's winters, and then of course chinos. I hardly wear suits, for example, like once a month or once in 2 months, because there's no need for me. But if you are on the client side regularly, maybe you need to wear more suits. Hopefully this gives you some perspective of the office dress code and how much suits you need to bring for you if you have a job that requires that. Thank you so much for watching.